Welcome.
Where are we? And why have you brought us here?
All in good time.
I demand to know where our child is.
Neither you nor your husband are in a position to demand anything. Now I'll let you get cleaned up. We have work to do.
Where is she?
She's safe.
Where?
We'll find out in due time.
I want to know now!
Your concerns are not mine.
What do you want from us?
I need to save an innocent woman from the noose. And you two are the ones to do it.
This is ridiculous. Let us go.
You're free to leave. You can say goodbye to your daughter.
We will go to the authorities.
Again, you are free to make whatever choice you want, but the wrong one will seal your child's fate.
I will kill you.
Julia.
I understand your fury, but it changes nothing.
Where's this woman?
Ah, so you're finally here. Well, let them in, Geoffrey. Do sit down. Apologies for the china, but one has to make do, I suppose. Oh, how appalling. Let me introduce myself. Hilda Fanshawe. Yes, well, I suppose I ought to apologize for my methods too, but desperate times call for desperate measures, do they not? And given that I am to meet my maker in 3 days, these are indeed desperate times.
What do you want from us?
Didn't Atticus tell you? I want you to save my life.
You're convicted of your husband's murder.
Indeed I am. Poor Frederick.
Did you do it?
The courts believe I did.
That's not an answer.
It's the only one that matters.
What do you propose we do?
Overturn my conviction. Get me out of this dreary place.
How would we do that?
You and your wife are experts in the field of criminal detection. Find someone other than myself responsible for the murder of my husband.
Even though you did it?
I never said that.
We will do no such thing.
Oh, well, it is your choice, of course. But you have been made aware of the consequences. I'm already doomed to die. So, unlike you, I have very little to lose.
We need to go to the police.
And tell them what?
That we've been kidnapped. That our child is being held.
No, I won't put Susannah's life in danger, William.
I'm afraid it already is.
We just need to get that woman out of jail and deal with the consequences later.
How?
Like she said, we wrote a bloody book about murder. Let's just do what it takes to get her out.
Let's examine the evidence they have against her.
It's an honor. The esteemed detective William Murdoch.
Thank you.
And what brings you here?
We're looking into the matter of Hilda Fanshawe.
To what end?
We believe she may have been wrongly convicted.
I'm not sure that's the case. Over the last few years, we've been summoned to the Fanshawe home on numerous occasions.
For what reason?
Various disputes of a domestic nature.
Have there been any arrests?
They were not. Neither wanted the attention of the public into their affairs.
But you believe her to be responsible for her husband's death?
Given their history, she was our primary suspect. I also discovered the poison to kill her husband in her possession.
In her possession?
Well, in her room. And why would a Canadian policeman be interested in any of this?
Well, you may not be aware, but I'm no longer a member of the Toronto Constabulary.
We've been hired by Mrs. Fanshawe to investigate the details of her conviction.
And you find her version of events credible?
But we wouldn't have taken the case otherwise.
We may need to have a look at your case file.
Any assistance I can offer?
Thank you.
Come with me.
I'm going to be sick.
We do what we need to do.
So, you've seen the wisdom of helping me.
More the necessity.
The evidence that you killed your husband is compelling.
Depending on from what angle you look at it.
Well, the angle the police took seems correct.
Can you describe your relationship with your husband?
Well, like most married couples, I imagine. In love at first, but later simply waiting for the end of time to arrive.
That's not most married couples.
You will get there. Trust me.
The Rochester police claim that the two of you fought.
Indeed we did. That was many years ago. Latterly, we suffered each other in silence.
Until you killed him.
I was no longer interested in him enough to kill him. I was simply waiting for him to expire.
Then if not you, then who?
Did that dim-witted policeman say anything about a Rachel Wiggins?
Who's that?
I'll take that as an answer. She was our housemaid for a while.
Where is she now?
Haven't the foggiest. My husband dismissed her shortly before his death. There, look at that. I have just pointed you towards a person with motive.
Why did he let her go?
He was having an affair with her. I suppose he'd tired of it.
Well, that suggests motive on your part.
That would suggest I still had feelings for him. Dear lady, that was not the case.
Is it your contention, then, that she planted evidence to make you appear guilty?
I contend nothing. But that is certainly a possibility. She was angry with me.
Why is that?
Oh, she felt I ought to have had sympathy for her plight.
And you did not.
Stupid, naive people get what they deserve. Don't you think?
Mrs. Fanshawe is a wonderful woman. I am glad you were here to help.
And her husband?
A decent man.
Were you here the night that he was killed?
Sadly, I was not.
The lady and her husband were home alone that night. Mrs. Fanshawe retired early. She was under the weather.
Mr. Jones, I'm speaking with Mr. Edwards at the moment.
And I know the truth of it as well as he.
And I will get to you in due time. So you were not present. Where were you?
Attending services at the First Methodist Church on Franklin. I returned here to find Mr. Fanshawe dead.
And Hilda Fanshawe?
She was asleep in a room.
What can you tell me about this Rachel Wiggins?
She was dismissed by the Fanshawe some months before Mr. Fanshawe died.
What was the reason for her dismissal?
No, she made scurrilous accusations against Mr. Fanshawe.
Accusations of what nature?
She accused Mr. Fanshawe of improper conduct, which surely was a lie.
Do you know where she is now?
I do not.
Thank you.
Mr. Fanshawe attacked her repeatedly and then dismissed her without a word. If you ask me, he deserved what he received.
We'll get her back. Whatever it takes, Julia. I promise.
Even if that means letting a murderer go free?
Once Susannah is safe, we'll admit our part in this deception.
Then what happens?
It doesn't matter, so long as Susannah is returned to us.
Can we trust that that will happen?
What choice do we have?
Coroner's report states that Mr. Fanshawe's death was due to the ingestion of a toxic agent.
Does it identify which one?
It lists a number of possibilities, but the report is inconclusive.
Shoddy work.
It was also cremated.
Well, that's unusual. So, no body to re-examine?
I doubt they would allow an exhumation. We are private citizens in a foreign country. However...
What?
Well, judging by the toxicology report, a number of poisons could be responsible, including some that could be found in cleaning supplies.
So one could argue that the maid had the tools to do the job?
Well, given the evidence of acrimony between Miss Wiggins and the family, it would be easy to suggest motive.
The butler stated that she was attacked and then summarily dismissed. That could give us motive and possible method.
Especially if said method were to be found in the maid's possession.
Do we do it? Rachel Wiggins?
Where should I place it?
Anywhere is fine.
Oh, dear Lord.
Dead? Oh, should I say what a pity?
I think it's best you don't say anything.
Well, that should make your task easier, should it not? Seeing as Miss Wiggins is no longer here to speak in her own defense.
We don't know that she killed your husband.
We all know that you're responsible for that.
Oh, you have a fire in you, don't you? But whether she actually killed my husband is not the point. The point is to free me. The means of murder were found in her room. And seeing as she's now dead, it seems obvious that she killed my dear Frederick and then, distraught at her wickedness, took her own life.
She was innocent.
I don't see how that matters. She's dead. But if your conscience troubles you, comfort yourself with the fact that you're doing nothing more than besmirching a poor dead woman's memory. Nothing you can do can hurt her now, but you can help me and your child.
Forgive me.
One of my men confirms finding the poison in Miss Wiggins' room. We've also questioned the staff regarding Mr. Fanshaw's behavior with regard to Miss Wiggins. And then, of course, there was the suicide note. I just want you to know that we never considered Miss Wiggins a suspect.
To be fair, Mrs. Fanshawe did seem the most likely suspect.
Yes, it's understandable. We may be in her employ, but I can't say we're fond of her.
Yes, but I suppose being distasteful doesn't make one a murderer.
So what are next steps?
I've already spoken to the district attorney. He's going to see the judge. Talk is Mrs. Fanshaw's conviction will be overturned. Mrs. Fanshawe is a very lucky woman having you two in her corner. Your reputation's got her out.
I should like to propose a toast to Detective William Murdoch and Dr. Julia Ogden. I am a free woman today, thanks to them.
You found the true killer. Congratulations.
Where is our child?
She will be returned in due time.
If she is not.
Mrs. Fanshawe is a woman of her word, I can assure you.
I really must thank you again. Such a shame about Miss Wiggins. I suppose she could not live with what she had done.
You had her killed.
I should have thought that the great Detective William Murdoch would not be one for baseless accusations. You do realize not a word of this can be spoken. And remember, if I have outwitted you once, I can again.
We just want to get home to our child.
And you're perfectly free to do so. But would you care for a celebratory drink before you leave?
No.